Boom. Boom. Hello. Are we on? There we go. Hello, Tinterweb. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We are an RPG channel and we play lots of tabletop all week. Quite literally all week. Except Mondays and Wednesdays. So I lied. But tonight we are going to be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in our homebrew campaign, Fables Among Titans. And you can find us all over social media.
It's gravy time.
Yeah, it's gravy time. 7 months, Clockwork. 7 months. Jesus. Jesus. What are we doing? Fables Among Titans. It's our homebrew campaign set in our homebrew world of Colossus. We play this all the time. We love Colossus, or I love Colossus. It's been built years and years. So much so that if you go to Patreon, it's gravy time. Thank you, Mr. Players. It's like I know these people. If you go to Patreon and throw a few dollars at the Patreon, you get rewarded with an e-zine full of Colossus lore that is highly compatible with 5th edition games and such. And it's full of all our lore, NPCs, adventures, pantheons, weapons, items, etc. Subclasses. God, there's so many subclasses. So yes, that's in Colossus where we play our games. This is session 32, I believe. So we are well over the halfway mark of the year. In fact, coming March, probably we've been playing a year, so how cool is that? Social media, you find us. Social media. Angela Luna! Thank you for the sub. Sponsors. Got loads of them. So Loke Battle Mats. They're incredible map makers. They make the A3, A4, A5 big book of battle maps, or mats. You basically flip them out on the table. Boom. You got tundra, mountains, forests, etc. Award-winning, I hear. If you've got a drive-through RPG, you can find all of them in the digital version. Some are free, some are pay what you want, some cost a couple of quid, and you can use them on things like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, any other virtual tabletop that you use, really. You can get the images and use. Oh, Kess has the big book of battle. Yes! That is actually an A5 book, just for reference. They've recently done a very successful Kickstarter for Towns and Taverns that you can see on Sundays from Dice of the Beholder. They're really, really cool. And they are currently getting ready to do another one for Wilderness. They're doing a Wilderness one, so that's going to be badass. Yes. Coyote Grey is a chibi artist who does lots of chibi tokens for Roll20 specifically. You can obviously download them and use the images on other virtual tabletops, but you'd have to buy them from Roll20. You can find him on Facebook. Not Facebook, that's a lie. You can find him on Twitter. Or just go to Roll20 and look for Coyote Grey and you'll see his little Roll20 store. I bought all his packs and every time one drops, boom, I have them. Secret but not secret, he's working on a Cyberpunk set. So I'll be grabbing them for our Cyberpunk games. I can't wait. And also, I'm back and forth with him at the minute about a Colossus token set. So we will have our own chibi tokens for different areas of Colossus. Eventually, and that's the plan. So I was looking about Matt's Coyote Grey. We have Ruffworx Creative, who is godlike when it comes to woodworking and leatherworking and combining the two. As our very lovely mod stated, he rips the trees apart with his bare hands, apparently. There you go. Whoa, there we go. It's like he's Captain America or something. So, meets Jason Stefan. It's a very strange mix. So thank you very much to Ruffworx Creative, who made my beautiful, and I mean divine beauty, Aphrodite herself is jealous, DM screen, which you can go to our Heavyweight Gaming Facebook and see all the photos and the little video and stuff. It is, it's amazing. And our fourth sponsor, Jesus, is Hannah, who is a very, 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 very talented glass crafter who makes lots and lots of glass figurines on her streams. You can see her streaming tonight. We usually raid her at the end of the session, so please stick around. So skilled, so talented, it's unbelievable, and she's a big D&D fan, so that's cool, and she's a big World of Warcraft fan, so that's even cooler. So we love Ashana, she's cool. And we sorted out the glass protectors, the dice protectors made from glass, the little draconic glass figurines that will be coming over, so I can give them away to you, lovely bunch of coconuts. And we have a set for these even lovelier bunch of coconuts. And we have some figurines she's currently working on at the moment. And when we get pictures and such, we shall reveal all. But yeah, Ashana, she's amazing. And by the way, the e-zine's called Arcane Script. And by the way, all our ambient sound we use in the background is done by Syrinscape, which you can go check out, and they are amazing, and they're really cool for Sugar Dates and Pistachios Man, who seems to be in every single sound set, no matter where you are in the world. He's even in the Curse of Strahd sound sets, the Rime of the Frost Maiden sound sets, and obviously the stuff we use generically. It gets around. He's a hell of a salesman. So we use Syrinscape. If you feel like it and you want to throw some Christmas cheer, it's January, and you want to throw 200 bits, re-roll Mother Kippers, you might need it as 580's Crazy World. Thank you very much to our for you. You can do exactly this. You can donate 200 bits to the episode/session. This will get a free reroll with those 200 bits. They can use it on their own stuff, not the DMs. They can't use it on death saving throws. They can't carry them over to next session, and they can only ever have 5 at one point. Is that everything, Mel? You wasn't listening, was you? You're dead to me.
You're talking in chat, sorry.
Did you do social media?
Yep.
Social media, we're all over it.
Yeah.
We have a... Yeah, go check out Bardic Inspiration as well. They're pretty cool. And Sawdust as well. They're very cool. They get talked about more and other stuff. Yeah, we got loads. We love everyone. We love everyone. Right. Bardic Inspiration do the candles that you can see Luke's got a light. They're cool. They smell, they smell nice.
These ones.
These
ones are my personal collection of
from
jars.
Tesco's.
Personal collection.
Well, the jars that they're in were from cooking sauce from Tesco.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Wax is our own.
Thracosaurus has donated. Thank you very much. So, we're going to have a recap. This lovely bunch of coconuts have been spending all their time in Ravenholm over the last 3 to 4 months. Who knows? Time is weird. There is currently a civil war going on with the northern houses and the southern houses. And my heart really wants the northerners to win. But we'll see. And this sort of come together to basically not intentionally stop that. That kind of happened because of things in their way. But they are kind of intertwined with it, along with trying to stop the leader of the civil war, or at least the northern lot, called Ulrich Steinson, who is leading an attack on the Copper Forest itself, which is the fair realm of autumn that is intertwined with Ravenholm's material realm. Stuff has happened, people have died, some people have not died, and we've got a new Lance Lord. Lancey, as some like to not call her in earshot. They've all come together and they are currently trying to resolve this attack on the forest and the civil war. One, or a few of them more leaning towards one than the other, but either way they seem to be helping one another thus far. We have Sean playing Sapphire, the monk barbarian Tabaxi. We have Luke playing Kesvion, the fair fighter. We have Mel playing Aristotle, the human swashbuckling bard. We have Jeannie playing Ruby, the druid. And we have Jade playing Xandria, child of summer. Warlock, of pretty much everything that's offering at the minute. They have recently left the Copper Forest to against Xandria's pull towards Ulrich. They've left the Copper Forest to return a bunch of lost Ravenholmers. Their small hamlet, or a part of their small hamlet, was taken into the forest. They've retrieved the people and they've taken them back. Leaving, they've gone to the town of Torberg, currently with a small tag-along that has been known to the party since day dot, basically. Is a young child called Gedden, who is a aspiring knight of the Grey Wolf, and the party have not killed him yet. Into Torberg. Torberg was not flying any banners. It looked as if the place was empty, at least from the streets, but the buildings themselves contained folk basically merrymaking and such. Walking into town to have a closer look at things, somebody leaves one of the merrymaking buildings and is very, 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 very familiar to Harry. As Harry sees before him the blacksmith known as Anastasia, her iron-like forearms, who was the blacksmith that made... Or, yeah, I'll let you do that bit. But yeah, the blacksmith known to Ari. I do have to retcon something. Last week when I described the valley that you were looking down into of Ravenholm, and I said that Giselfurt was the capital of the Ravenholm province. It isn't. Grunston is the capital of the Eagle province. What Giselfurt is an enormous fortress that is held back a day or two away from the Ivory Wall. Those of you that will have laid eyes on it and talked to one another will say Giselfurt is an enormous fortress that is the last defensive bastion in case the wall ever fell. Totally not Helm's White City. Deep. Right. So, there is sound of merriment. Let's go. Right, yeah. Let's quieten that down a bit. In front of you is Anastasia. 3 to 1. Go.
Harry kind of looks up at Anastasia. Hello.
Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes.
It's been a long time.
Very. Still got the blades. Looks down at the obvious eagle hilt. Totally hidden from view from everyone.
Totally.
I am not an eagle, except this.
Except for the blades, I've got hilts of eagles.
The novelty belt buckle was a fair comment.
Not the most intelligent, it's okay.
My condolences.
Thank you.
You missed a hell of a send-off.
I'm sure I did. We unfortunately had other matters to attend to.
I'm aware. There's quite a war going on. You want a drink? Bring your friends. Just kind of looked around at the eclectic mix of not eagle bearers.
We've obviously not been here for a while. Would it be safe for my party to go in there?
If they're with you, Ari, they are more than safe.
Cool.
And she just sort of holds the door open to the building that she just left. And it doesn't look from this angle like a tavern, but there's definitely several tables with people all around these tables. Come, join us, sit, drink, rest. You all look rough.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And she sort of tilts her head. Big. And then she enters into the, she walks into the building.
I'll kind of glance around the party. If she says it's fine, we'll be fine. You want to go in?
I could drink.
It's probably safer in the town if you're saying we're welcome here overnight than it would be on the road.
Trust me, if Anastasia says it's safe, it's probably going to be safe.
You going out of the building?
Yep. Gonna
Yep.
kind of nod our little friends along as well, because
Yeah, Ruby's like, tavern, child, eyes on the child. Even though after him, Ruby is the next child.
So you walk into the building, miss the door completely.
boom.
He thinks he's funny.
I know I'm funny. My children tell me all the time. Right, so as you walk in, you're hit with a wave of noise. People are everywhere. It's ram-packed. It is less of a tavern and more they've put several large kegs of ale to one side and they're tapped and people are helping themselves to tankards of. Kesvion, you immediately see this or notice this. Ari, you notice it shortly after and the rest of you probably work it out just from your travels so far. Ruby, it's up to you if you notice this. Everyone in here is dressed in a very similar fashion to Yes, basically. They're wearing armour enough that if they got into a fight, it would protect them. That is really loud on my end. You look around and you see that the things that are resting against some of these tables are actually swords in sheaths. Some of them have kind of put material over them to rest. And the more you look around, it almost looks like a bit of a really makeshift barracks / naffy hall type thing for soldiers and such. There's a couple of them just having quite a loud natter in the corner, like tuning instruments, and every now and then you'll hear a bit of a tune. But it sounds really busy and heavily crowded in here as all the time. But it does just look like loads of soldiers sat having a drink in a building they've decided to turn into a tavern.
So as Ruby comes in, all of that noise coming from one small room is just gonna literally just like
Death
knock her
saving
back.
throw.
Too many people.
Death
Too many
saving
people.
throw, did you say?
Rude. I think Ari would kind of actually visibly relax at that, because he's kind of grown up around these types of taverns to a certain degree.
Anastasia goes over to a table. You lot shift. They all sort of look at Anastasia, look back at you lot, shake their heads, pick up the pints, and they shift away. Sit down, I'll bring you some ales. She doesn't ask if you want ale. And off she goes towards the... there's about 6 of these huge, probably the size of Sapphire if he sat squat, kegs of ale.
Ruby kind of shuffles into like the most cornery chair so she can back to the wall, because still lots of people. We don't like lots of people.
A few moments pass, if that. Anastasia returns, and in her massive hand she's managed to hold 7 tankards of ale. 'Cause she can. And she just puts them down on the table. They're dead. You can see they're just overflowing with froth. They could not be more stereotypically, ale in a fantasy tavern. She puts them in front of the 7 of you, including Gedden. And herself, obviously. And she just sits.
Kess is like keeping an eye on Gedden out the corner of his eye just to make sure that the child doesn't implode or something. He's not particularly used to children.
Yeah, Ruby sort of like reaches out and just slides the tankard away from him.
As you do that, Gedden's sort of reaching and then notices that you're kind of pulling rank on him, and he sits back.
You're 9 years old, stop it.
Oh, he's a growing boy. He needs some.
Guinness is good for you. This is Dwarven Ale, it'll kill him, but that's not the point.
There's only so many calories a 9-year-old can drink.
So,
Show me his constitution roll before we let him drink the Dwarven Ale.
putting her large forearms on the table, Anastasia looks at you all, takes a swig of her ale. You're all really quiet.
Just looking between like Ari, who apparently knows this person in the town where he's saying that something doesn't seem right, and this person is like, "Hey, you're quiet," like just like.
If no one will speak up, Ari will kind of just go. There's been a lot. I'm sure you probably have as well. But there's been a lot.
That's been fun. Tell me, share. You're safe. Rest. Don't look so iron-like. Relax. And Anastasia has finished her ale.
Ari will kind of like sit back, take a few swigs, and kind of start to relax a little bit. He knows that if she says it's safe, then it's safe.
Name's Anastasia Vantu. And she just raises her empty tankard. Wow, you really have been through it, haven't you?
It's been a really weird time. Sorry, we're not. It's not a rudeness thing, and he will drink his ale. Sapphire.
Pleased to meet you, Sapphire. She looks at Ruby.
Takes like a really deep swig from the tankard. I can't remember it. There's basically gives a proverb to describe the last week of it hasn't rained, it's poured, or the kind of like halfling equivalent. And yeah, I'm Ruby Irwin.
It's not spitting, it's pissing it down. Pleased to meet you, Ruby. Sapphire looks at you two and goes, gold and silver.
Caspian and Sandria.
Ruby does giggle at that.
Oh, close. Do you need healing? Do you need supplies? We've got a couple of priests back here. They can throw some healing into you if you need it. Looking at the absolute state of your clothing and armour. Want to wash?
Yeah. Everything.
Just sleep.
Alright. Sleep's good. We got beds, we got bunks.
Sleep sounds amazing.
I'll get a few of this lot to make shift, so you got a bit of privacy.
You got stables. I'd rather sleep outside.
Nods and smiles. We do indeed have a stables, Ruby.
Sapphire looks utterly horrified and looks at the windows where you can see it pouring with rain. No.
I mean, yeah, your call, Ruby.
Just take in the crispiness.
Are you wanting to wash up as well? You don't look like...
Thank you. I'm alright.
Yeah.
Ariel will side-eye her at that. Coming in like blood and everything else from what I was just like... What?
I think that everything else you're looking for is viscera.
Well, I'll get that sorted. As soon as you lot aren't overly talkative. You got about an hour. Give me an hour. And Anastasia leaves the table. And you see her just sort of like pushing a few of the soldiers out of the way towards the back room. Or the back rooms. Whatever this building is, it seems to be almost a converted warehouse.
Ruby just takes another deep... Because this is farmer drinking. This is like a quarter of a pint at purse.
It's not bad. it's not bad ale, to be fair. It's not the best, not the worst. It's just ale.
We'll kind of glance around again and be like, trust me, if she says it's safe, it's safe. I've known Anastasia since I was a really small child.
Saying it's not safe, I'm just saying I don't like so many people.
You said something was amiss here. You'll forgive us for still being a bit on edge for the sudden turn of...
Like, I still don't trust the town to be completely correct, but this is just soldiers. Like, it's probably soldiers that Anastasia's outfitted, to be honest. And I feel safe among soldiers. I've grown up with them. Like, honestly, nothing can threaten us here. Like, if anything tried, you'd have an awful lot of people to get through.
What should we be expecting from this town? Like, everyone seems really nervous about it.
I didn't know. It used to be a Lily's town back in the day. And it was an eagle's town, but it's right on the border, so I don't know whether it was more eagles or lilies and civil war going on.
They've just
in a way
decided
for
to
a
be
while.
nothing.
Yeah, basically. I have a funny feeling if Anastasia's here. This area at least, or this building at least, is eagles. And he'll kind of glance around at like maybe some of the weapons and stuff that are kind of around. Like, can he see any kind of obvious eagle insignia?
So, give me a perception check.
No, you didn't roll bad. Oh. Dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Eagle insignias, yes. And you see the common stamp that Anastasia uses, where it's an eagle with its wings folded. A lot of insignia gets done where it's, look at me, I'm an eagle, and the wings are spread. She does it very subtle in certain areas of the weapons and stuff. You're also very aware that Anastasia only makes weapons for eagles. No other person shall bear her blades. And there are tales of Anastasia going up to people that have acquired the blades she's made that are not eagles, and her taking them back.
That's why he's looking around at the weapons rather than anything else.
You read into...
I reread my backstory before I came on this evening.
With your 20, you do notice some colourful... Orbs is probably a strong word. Almost as small as marbles over by the ale. Like little flickers of colour. Like reds and blues and greens and such. Very akin to that of the forest, to be fair, when you've seen creatures flying around and running around. But you are pretty confident that the soldiers in here are at least bearing the arms of the eagle. Their armour is very standard. A lot of people imagine the eagles, or at least that are not of the eagles, to be golden plate armour with golden wings behind them. Like Ravenholm bigs up the eagles quite a lot. But you know when it comes down to just fighting on the wall day after day, you just got to stay alive. Like, prettiness is not a thing.
Yep.
And these lot remind you very much of soldiers you saw growing up and such.
Cool. I'm glad I got that perception check, because that's kind of where I'd gone with it anyway, apparently. So that's fine. That works. And he'll kind of like, so he'll kind of glance around the room and just be like, yeah, definitely eagles. He'll kind of like gesture towards some of the swords that are probably more obviously eagles. And just be like, trust me, she only makes them for us. She won't let her blades stay with anyone else.
Then we'll trust you on that. And he'll kind of relax a little bit.
He'll kind of look towards Sandra because she's been incredibly quiet. And just kind of be like, you okay?
Sandria.
Do we even have Jade?
What?
Ariel kind of
Nanu,
looked towards you and be
nanu.
like, are you okay?
Sorry, guys. Sandra just kind of looks at Ari and just kind of goes, and pulls out her smoke box.
Brilliant.
Ruby
It's
has
been
now
a
finished her
long
point.
day.
Ruby's finished her pint and is drinking Geddon's pint.
Geddon staring at you with Puss in Boots eyes. Just like...
You're 9!
Yeah, but I'm big.
It's dwarven ale.
Dwarf, and so I'll be a dwarf if I drink it.
Depends if you believe in reincarnation or not, doesn't it?
Don't even know what that is, but if it makes me a dwarf, I'll believe in it.
I think she's saying you'll die if you drink it, little one.
I died many years ago.
Are you planning on making any more deals to bring you back?
I've made 2 deals. I don't need to make any more.
Wait, you've made 2?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said I'd promised. I'd made another promise to the fairies.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sapphire visibly, like, relaxes a little bit. He was really worried there for a moment. Like, what the shit have we done?
I mean, I am sharing all this with the bad guy. No. Geddon's actually a familiar.
Ruby's giving him like a very hard glare, but she gives back the half pint that is less on the basis that it's half as likely to kill him without the whole poisoning.
Constitution. Whoa. And he stares at it for ages, but doesn't actually take a drink.
I was going to suggest that we maybe got some watered down stuff for him, but that's on you now.
Half as less is
You think
technically what.
we'll find anything in here that's less proof than table varnish?
Drinking it, it's free.
So what do? Are you just enjoying your drinks? Is that your conversing done? Or have you got more to do? You know what I mean? Jesus. I don't want to force you to interact or anything.
He'll kind of sit back, like actively relax, and just kind of just put, like, actually take his weapons off, put them down, like, kind of like just actively relax, so that like everybody else is in there. And I'll kind of just glance around and just be like, do you want to partake of any healing, or do you just want to sleep?
Can I just, because what is our goal? What are we? I know why we're here, kind of, but what is the plan when we go into town? What is it we're actually planning on doing?
We're looking to head up to, well, Ari wanted to check on the wall. And now we need to see if there's someone that he knows up there that can help take Geddon in.
Yeah, okay. The getting thing, I get, yeah, 100%. I just wasn't sure if there was a goal beyond making sure Ari's people are okay. So that's what I was clarifying.
I don't super want to stick around here, let's put it that way. Just in general. Not been back here for 20 years. It's a bit weird, but this at least is fine. Getting closer to where I'm actually from. There was some weird visions, and with everything that we've been through and everywhere that we've been, I want to know what's true and what's not. And I think the only way to do that is to come here and check. And I've been fighting against coming here for 20 years, but there's only so much running you can do. There's only so far you can go. And it's nice to be home, or at least somewhere that feels like home. I just gotta sit back and drink.
Ruby gives him a little squeeze on the forearm.
Okay, well that's plenty of reason for me.
we should look into the sketches that you made of the glyphs as well.
See if we can figure out what exactly is happening.
Or more importantly, how to get rid of it.
And obviously, Ulrich is always the ultimate goal, but I feel like going home would probably help us with getting supplies and help, because as you heard from Anastasia, they all know me round here, and we will get help if we ask for it from certain people. And Anastasia's someone I've known since I was a child. I trust her with my life. She made this blade that I carry, and I was gifted it at 16.
So, did she know she was giving you a random tabaxi ghost when she did that, or?
I don't think that was there. Stop hating. I don't think that was there when she. I've never seen that manifest before. The I don't know what that was, but I'd quite like her to have a look at it before we go.
Do you think she could have a look at, and you'll kind of like reach back and kind of like pat the falchion, because he has not disarmed, because sack that.
She's a weapons expert. She basically she's made most of the blades that are in here. And essentially that's what she does. She specialises in that. She only gifts her blades to members of the Eagle family and members of the Eagles. And she will be able to have a look at it for you and at least give you her expertise on it.
It would be appreciated.
Yeah, that's what she does. Like, so, I've noticed it since I was a child. I always knew I was going to get a blade from her. I got my blade, and it's been amazing. So, like, this is why I'm saying, like, you can trust her. There is nothing that is going to sneak up on us in here. We've got enough soldiers surrounding us.
I have a question. You can tell me to buzz off if it's like too nosy or whatever. But you say everyone around here knows you. Is like your dad famous, or are you like?
All of a sudden, I'm thinking everyone else looks to her like, oh shit, she don't know.
We didn't tell her.
Like, really interested in that ball.
I can't remember if Sapphire knows. I can't remember if Sapphire knows or if Sean has just overheard some of the IC stuff.
Sapphire has definitely asked a similar question.
I thought it might before, because there were conversations happening about it before, but I wasn't sure if that was just I remember hearing stuff.
And Ari was as vague as possible.
Narrative,
But yeah, you did pick up on it and ask.
A little kind of like look towards Ruby. Yeah. Okay. Right, so Ruby, you know how I said I was from around here? And obviously you came through here and I was really interested. I basically grew up around here. It's called, this area is the House of the Eagles. Kind of indicates towards his blade and all the blades around kind of going. So, you know, I can't remember if you saw when we've got the different sashes to the different houses in Ravenholm, but essentially
Well, I know you wear one and then sometimes you remember to take it off.
You'll actively laugh at that. Yeah, basically my grandfather was First Eagle, which means that he ran fighters at the wall, to put it like in a simple way. he unfortunately was killed recently.
Sorry.
And Elva took over as First Eagle. Elva and I have a history.
Still drinking. Still drinking.
No, Ruby's just like this massive innocent pair of eyes, just paying attention as you talk.
I've had some weird visions that she's dead. She's a Medusa type Gorgon thing. That there's a load of demons on this wall that shouldn't be there more than normal. I just want to see what's real and what's not. And unfortunately, all these weird visions and all these weird things are just...
Have you seen a cleric about the visions?
She's not well, is he?
I think on that one, Kess will choke on it. Ari, have you seen a cleric about the visions?
No. The visions were either in the Copper Forest or in the other place that we were. I don't know what's real and what's not. And I'd rather just check it out in person.
Sapphire slowly reaches back and touches his Naginata as subtly as possible. And is going to detect fiend, please. Because she said demons, and he's like, oh. There might be one nearby.
6 ping in the building. You can't see them directly, but amongst the crowd, there are 6 presences that are definitely of a fiendish nature.
He'll slowly lower his arm and just quiet whisper to the table. Well, there are definitely at least 6 fiendish things in this building.
Ruby sort of like leans back to see if there are any tieflings in her line of sight.
Well, you're all
he was about
back. It's going to
he was about to say, like, they may not be the kind that we want to murder, but it's just in case.
I really
Because
kind of lean
this
in.
Can do this every time you think there might be a tiefling around. People are going to start.
Yeah, also, we're not close enough to the wall for it to be a problem.
Okay.
There's a reason.
Are there any tieflings in the room, AD?
Give me a perception check.
See, Sapphire wasn't used to
14.
tieflings before, but since the ship, knows that he's not always.
14.
You don't really see anyone that is obviously a tiefling. There's no one, running around with a pitchfork and a little black moustache. Doesn't appear to be any tieflings.
Nobody bright blue, tail, no. Oh.
Not from your 14.
You've become colourblind off of this half. The next half of thing is dwarven in.
He'll kind of reach out towards Sapphire and kind of just pat him. We're too far from the wall for it to be a problem. However, the reason the wall was built was to stop fiendish things coming through. We might get a lot more pings as we get closer.
Well, I just like to know when there are some nearby. I know that not every fiendish thing is evil, but it's kind of what I've been trained to do.
While they're sussing all the possible tieflings in a 100-mile radius, and are slightly distracted, Kess is going to kind of like turn aside to Drea. Are you sure you're doing okay? That was pretty rough back there.
I just want to go back.
We're not ready to face him yet. If it was something we could sort tonight, you know I would be the first in there. But there's no point in just dashing ourselves against the rocks. We're not going to help anyone like that.
I know. But it doesn't stop me not wanting to be there.
That I can understand.
The longer we're away, the more worried I get. And I don't know if that's me talking or if that's the Lancelot talking. It's kind of blurring into one.
Well, you are the Lancelot, you're one and the same now. There's no kind of blur about it, to my understanding. But if it makes you feel any better, I feel the exact same. Not being able to be there and to fix it. We spent all of today just about wading through the bodies of our fallen kin. That's not something anyone ever wants to have to do and feel so powerless through, but if we were to run it Ulrich now, he would just fail us where we stand.
And I think that is the most annoying part of this. Is that you're right, we're not ready. But when are we going to be ready?
I don't know.
Well, while we're here, it sounds like Harry can at least, see what help we can get from the wall. You've already cut off his horrible thing he had going with the realm of air and their people. The more we weaken his forces and the more we gain things for us, more likely is that we'll actually get to him. Defeating him is a different question. But we have to make it to him first.
Do I overhear this while I was having a conversation?
Who are you having conversations with?
I don't know. Luke said he was doing it while we were having other conversations.
Unless you tell me otherwise, I assume you can all hear each other at the table.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think probably ours was a little bit longer, so Sapphire probably caught the end of it, and Kess is probably like, oh, there's other people back in the room.
Ariel kind of nod and just be like, the visions I had, and the reason I kind of wanted to come back as well was that the wall was built because there are breaches in the Vale, I guess, from the eastern side, and these breaches, the visions I was having were looking like the breaches were getting bigger and more demons were coming through. And from what we've seen in the forest, it wouldn't surprise me to find out that's true. And so they may have things that we don't have to help us, or that we can try and help them to try and mend these breaches. And I think either way, we can help the Copperfields ultimately try and defeat Ulrich by coming here for a bit, much as I don't want to personally. But I know that we can hopefully get some more help.
Cass was also victim to a supportive arm squeeze at some point when he was talking to Drea, because Ruby just wants people to be happy.
We'll get there, Ruby. We're very few people trying to do some rather large tasks. But
Does anybody speak Halfling?
nope.
Okay, Ruby says something in Halfling.
What do you say?
All trees are felled at ground level.
That they are, lass.
Shouts someone from across the room.
Behind you there is a dwarf dressed very similar to yourself. His hair is very short, his beard is very short, everything's cut really close to his face and his head. Still got a bit of scruff, but it's really short, and like a conker brown. And he's dressed similar to yourself, bits of hide, a bit of leather hanging down here and some material. He's not, he's not heavily stacked out. But he does have a pickaxe on his hip, as you'd expect of the 7. And a walking staff similar to yours. It's not a crook, it's just got that long oaken staff about it. And he's sat with a few other dwarves and humans. The dwarves are similarly kitted in a more nature-esque fashion than a heavy plated. They all sort of just raise their tankards to you as you say that.
Ruby smiles and nods at them.
Harry, seeing the dwarves, you recognise them as natives of the city of Azurite, the dwarven city in the mountains north of the wall. And their people are responsible for the wall being built so quick.
I take it whatever you said was of merit. And he'll just kind of like raise his cup and just like, sounds good as anything.
Ruby laughs and translates it into common. It's usually meant as fighting talk. It's not a very good translation. I think there's a more dwarven translation that essentially means it's more about cutting somebody off at the kneecaps rather than felling a tree. But in halfling, it translates to if you fell it, all trees are felled at ground level.
I mean, it makes sense.
Does? I don't understand why we're lumberjacking.
Gotta earn that gold somehow. Harry, behind the dwarves, you see a youngish looking bloke, quite well looked after, in attire similar to yours but clean and not ripped or covered in claret. Quite, I'd say pretty, but it's down to opinion. There is a pretty aura about them. Whereas they definitely don't look like they spend time on the wall like the rest of the soldiers. But this chap is definitely kind of sticks out a bit. They make eye contact with you. He's got 2 drinks in his hand, 2 ales, and just goes. You see him mouth the words "oh fuck." You don't recognise him, and he turns and walks back away from you, further into the building. Into the crowd.
I don't recognise him.
You don't recognise him.
Well, there's another one of Aries' conquests.
I'm thinking it's either that or it's a relative. Either way, they are not happy to see you.
Oh, shit.
The "oh fuck" is of surprise. There doesn't seem to be any animosity in it, but they quickly disappear.
If I don't recognise him, I think he's just going to stay where he is. Because he's not going to remember the name anyway. Void that one!
Okay. Assuming you're doing it, you're just going to idle chat for the next 57 minutes. The hour passes, and give or take, Anastasia returns from somewhere behind the barrels. Tub's ready. Probably do 2 at a time. It's quite a large tin. Hot as dragon fire, so be careful when you get in there. Some of you might want to lower slower than others.
I'll kind of pat her on the shoulder. Thank you, it's really appreciated.
No worries. There is some clothes back there. Mainly of, our lot looks at all of them but you, Harry. And then looks back at you, Harry. You probably definitely need a change of clothes. Armour will wash right off, but I don't know if you want to... I mean, your clothes are absolutely obliterated. There's plenty of local fashion available if they wants it. Just help yourselves. No one else will be needing it. We've got the evening. We're going to eat and drink. And then we can sit and talk if you want, Harry. The rest of you. I've got questions. I'm assuming you might have questions.
I think that's fair to say.
Mm-hmm.
Grub will be out in a few hours. I'm off. And Anastasia just, literally turns left and steps 10 feet to talk to some of the soldiers.
Does anyone want to go first? Otherwise, I'm happy to.
The fucking D&D. Who's bathing first?
It's only fair to ask.
Roll initiative.
You go ahead, my love.
I probably won't. Colder water is better, and also I shed.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. He looks really embarrassed. So,
I didn't even think of that. This water's thick.
why is there a carpet on the bottom of the tub?
So
At that, Kess will look a little bit distressed and like, move a little bit quicker. Like, yeah, no, in before the tabaxi, in before the tabaxi.
do you all bath? Except Ruby.
Ruby might use some of the leftover water to get the worst of the blood out of her clothes, but
Just the
no,
cheeks, just
Ruby
the
doesn't
cheeks.
wash her face. There is no water touching skin here, literally just to get the worst of the blood out of the outer layers of clothes.
Do the rest of you partake in Ravenholm clothing? Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Sandria's like, yeah, hang on.
Ruby
Don't realise
and
what I'm nodding
Drea,
at.
like, you can take our clothes off our corpses.
Well,
Do you not
that
want
old
to
chestnut.
change and we can try and get it cleaned up a bit, Drea?
No.
Even if just for the night, we can try and dry stuff beside the fire. You're not having to get rid of it.
I will sleep
don't
in the
wanna-
blood of my enemies.
Fine.
I will do my best to try and get some of the worst of the out of what was once our lovely
I mean, that's other people's not Drea's.
I didn't say it was your I was just saying it's on there. It doesn't matter whose it was.
Sounded like Drea's hurt.
Well, whatever hurt, you're fucking cleaning up, alright? You
It's hurt being cleaned up.
clean, wash, etc. You're hours away into the evening. And those of you that don't. Unless you're doing anything in between, just idle chat, having a drink. It does become evening. The music does get louder. There are people throughout the afternoon into evening been coming in and out, different people, and you notice the same. They're dressed for a fight in, sturdy gear, and everyone you see, Harry, you make that mental check. They're carrying the stamp of Anastasia on their blades. You're all washed, cleaned.
Well,
you are all in a state you wish to be at this moment in time.
Like, during all that schmutzing about, probably because Kess went first draft, when he's, like, cleaning up, and if Ari's kind of in the immediate area while, like, not everyone else
You want
is
to talk to Ari
as
by
well.
himself?
Yes.
There we go.
I'm trying to do it by setting a scene.
You're
Harry
just
will
like,
come
you
in
want to
for
talk to
second
Ari.
bath, and while they're kind of like changing and stuff, they'll be like,
Harry's
having a
flossing.
chat.
Actually, no, I don't want to talk to him again. In fact, I don't think I ever want to talk to him again. I'll just take on Ulrich just now. Maybe he'll put me out of my misery. He's got a big knife that does it in one. End my suffering.
I love my job. So you and Harry get to talk to one another alone. 3, 2, 1, go.
I was going to have a deep heart to heart, but now you've put me in this. Thanks, AD.
Just looking at this thing.
Just... Like, he'll be, like, scrubbing away and cleaning, like he's not watching Ari bathe. That would be creepy.
Harry also doesn't care.
I don't...
Ari
like,
gets
Alright.
five siblings.
Whatever state you're in, you get
Yes.
your alone talk.
So, Drea. And then he will turn back around and like look pointedly at you.
What?
You're not a stupid man.
I'm also not a stupid man, so
He will laugh at that. Like, that is wise. I'm... Whatever the two of you... And he kind of waves a hand. That's between the two of you, but... Things have been a bit dicier recently. And I might not be the smartest, but I can see where that seems to be heading. So just keep an eye out for her if I can, okay?
I'm kind of nodding. Yeah. Already kind of done that a little bit. As best I can anyway. But
She's a full-time job. I'm letting you know. It'll be worse for you. I'm only your brother.
I'm only a DM. Fucking hell.
Hell mend you. And he'll just kind of like snap the worst of the water out the clothes and like go and try and find somewhere to hang them up and leave Ari to finish.
Anyone else wish to do anything with their afternoon/evening?
Did Gedden actually end up drinking any of the beer?
He did not.
Good Gedden.
Aww.
Probably sniffed it and passed out.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Is Gedden, in fact, passed out drunk?
From
a
He's probably just
fumes.
asleep. Kid's been through a lot.
I was gonna say, I think Ari would have got him like
Yeah.
something like else to drink instead.
Something
It would have been
non-beer,
like
yeah.
water.
Fruit shoot.
Fruit shoot. I'm to say fruit shoot.
I would like ye oldie fruit shoot, please.
tavern.
Jesus. Geddon is watered. Comes to the evening. Are you doing anything? Are you doing something, Harry? Are you off hunting?
No, I was just going to say he will kind of try and grab Anastasia.
Oh, okay.
at some point.
Easily done. She's not the tallest in the world, but she definitely holds a presence. Aristotle? And the most Yorkshire German woman ever. Nah, then, lad.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Usually go by Harry these days.
You're not little Harry anymore. And it's quite the party you've been tracking around with. Some tales coming back and forth across the old country.
Really?
I mean, the White Lion, that's quite literally a white lion. I thought it was just a bit of a tagline, bit of a handle. You know what propaganda's like.
Yeah, no, he can hold his own. He can definitely hold his own.
Can hold what he wants for me. What? Anastasia Blacksmith. If she wants it, she gets it.
Yep. He'll kind of nod towards his sword and just be like, you've done me well though.
It's alright, it's not bad.
You've outfitted quite a few people here, I see. You,
You've got a job to do.
yeah. I mean, can't imagine you're going to be that quiet at the moment. What's been happening? Obviously, I've been away for a long time in general, but this whole war thing with
Well, no one's heard nothing of you for nearly half a year. People have been tracking you around. Obviously, the First Eagle. She mentioned you. Obviously, in private. I don't want to be talking to the nobles and such. Not in public. I was quite surprised, to be fair, says you were still alive. Ebendorf's a mile and a day away, Harry. What were you doing over that way? I know you weren't keen on sticking around. Well, that's ridiculous.
I haven't been this side of the country in 10 years. Tried to stay away.
You are a born eagle, Harry. Yeah, that's not how that works. I didn't make you a sword so you could go piss it up in a tavern and sleep with anything with a heartbeat. From what some of the tales say, stuff without an heartbeat as well. I mean, they're saying yes to everything, and then they're saying yes to everything. Alright, think about it, Harry. If your sword falls off, I ain't repairing it.
I love this woman.
So I like to think, because Sapphire's last for the bath, he's waiting for like Drea to be done and he's listening into this, just like cackling.
I mean, we set it up already. She's known him since he was a child. Hello. She knows what he's like. He'll just kind of laugh and just be like, well, it was easier than trying to fight my way to a bed. You know how it is.
Yep. What's your plan? You going home?
I kind of have to.
You're damn right you do. Elva's in a shit state. She's going to need your help.
What's happened to her?
Well, other than the fact that she's trying to take on the wall by herself. Like she's got some sort of... Oh, yeah, there. Can't even speak. Must be that dwarven help. Like she's got some sort of point to prove. She needs to learn to delegate.
Yeah, she has. I think, like you said, haven't been home for a bit. Been a bit busy.
Is that why you're not at the funeral?
Sorry?
Is that why you weren't at the funeral?
Unfortunately, I was not here.
It's a bloody good send-off.
I wanted to be.
You seen out with Stefan? Really?
How's he doing?
He's alright. He's over that way somewhere. And she just nods to a crowded area of the building. You can't see Stefan.
He's here.
Well, yeah, I told you we've got a job to do. He's an eagle as well, Harry. He might have flown one way, but he circled high above. He's well, shit, he's quite the wizard. And a dwarven ale appears in a round.
Well, cheers to that. Good. Proud of him.
He's a wizard, Harry.
He's a wizard!
A penny! Literally to that second. Literally to that second, I didn't get it. I didn't get what I'd done. What?
Oh my god. Yeah.
What a prick. Ah, Lash got it, apparently. Fucking. What a fucking idiot. Well, there goes my greatest DM trophy.
Oh, this is banned right now.
I banned myself, Sawdust. I banned myself.
Can you ban the DM?
Yeah, let's ban the DM.
He's a practitioner of the arcane arts, Harry. Don't be buggering off without speaking to him. He's probably going to be pissed at you.
I know he will. I know he will, but he's somebody I came back to check on. So I need to find him.
Make sure you say congratulations.
Stefan?
Right? And she just wiggles her fingers in the air and points at her finger. On the left hand, not the right. Ah, fuck it, it's fantasy. Woo!
I mean, congratulations.
Not to me, to him.
Who?
Harry, you are beautifully stupid. It's a good job you got a pretty face. Just speak to Stefan.
Oh well.
Get that Shaun of the Dead vibe now that I was gonna.
Well, now
I
you've
will.
told me to, I'm not.
Who added the gemstones to the sword?
Oh, it's a long story.
I mean, that's incredible craftsmanship. Craftspersonship.
He'll kind of like pull the sword out and kind of hand it to her like hilt first, like prevent.
She takes it just like it's a brick. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Just starts holding it up. Harry, this is. I mean, it is, but it isn't the sword I made. I mean, she's now got it in the grip, and she's like moving it around, and so she's like, all right. She gives it back. Tell Tails, if he speaks to me like that again, I'll rip him out the sword.
Telltale's what?
If he speaks to me like that again, I shall rip him out the sword. As the sword is handed back to you, you hear a my, and a chuckle.
She's my
Yeah.
favourite.
That kind of happened when we were in the copper forest and don't really know what happened.
Stories really are true, aren't they? You have been wandering around the realm on the other side.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
it's
that's
not something I particularly want to be fully spread around everywhere, but yeah.
too late for that. You're the returning eagle, the one that flew amongst the copper with a white lion, apparently. No story about the pretty outsider though. Not heard out yet of her. the stable dweller. I mean, the 2 elves you got with you, Jesus. If you want to scare a few kids around campfire, there's plenty about them too. They find it funny when you tell them one of them bit Ulrich. That's always a favourite of ours.
Oh, trust me, the people I've been travelling with are brilliant, but also the stories are just, well, Tales said that we would have stories spoken of us, and I guess we have, but...
Well, by the twang, he sounds like you, so I'm not surprised stories are coming away. I want to be careful with that sword. It takes lives. And I don't mean that as a pun.
Yeah, I need to think about that a bit more.
Silver, Kess, you're silver, aren't you? You're the silver-eyed. And Sandra's golden-eyed, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Silver's got a pretty sword on his back.
We'd actually like to have a little look at it if you don't mind a bit later.
I don't mind at all, Larry. See, this broth's well nice. Just start eating some broth.
Just
We've, like I said, we've been through a lot. There's a lot going on.
Well, I could talk to you as a group or individual. It's up to you. I'll let you know what's going on around town as well. Let you decide if you want to stick around or sod off.
We're definitely on one side rather than put it that way. We don't particularly want to run into anybody that's from an opposite side.
You mean like that, lot? And she nods across, and you subtly see symbols or iconography that reminds you of the House of Lilies on a group sat at a table, but again in soldier kit. Oh, what about that lot? And nods across, and you see another table mixed with Eagles, House of the Lilies, and a few House of the Red Lady. And that lot, and you start to see a pattern forming, that there is a lot of Eagle, House of the Red Lilies in here, and from what you can see, they all bear her mark on their blades, or hammers, or axes, or shields.
You kind of look at it and go, I thought you were just eagles.
Eagle's job is to protect Ravenholm at all costs. You know this. These lot are protecting Ravenholm, therefore they've earned the right to carry my weaponry. Told you you'd have questions.
Yeah. The Red Lady lot and the Lilies lot do not like us.
Incorrect. The rulers of the House of the Lilies and the House of the Red Lady do not like us. The people that have lived in Ravenholm for years and generations and families love Ravenholm and its people. We all love Ravenholm and its people. That's why never in the history, and she spits on the floor, of Ravenholm has there ever been a civil war. Until that bastard up north, with his big hairy ass hammer, that he wishes I made for him, started throwing it around. Now I ain't gonna do shit in a fight other than bruise a few people, but this lot are committed to die for the country, as are our lot on the wall. So I'll repeat, they get to bear the arms. Help our beautiful self.
That is completely fair.
Why do you think there's no banners flying?
Yep. That was something that definitely threw me off when I first came in. Because I'd rather know if I'm walking into the den of an enemy than not.
If we were the enemy, would they be here? And she points over to the barrels, and where you saw those little flickers of colour and marble-sized things, you see very small, fair-like entities are hiding behind the barrels. The closer you look, looks like they're having a similar scenario themselves as you lot out here. They're having a bit of a merry get-together. But they're tiny, like Tinkerbell tiny. Other fairies are available.
Yep. I am 100% for what you're for. It's just keep people safe, keep people doing what they want to do. Our little friend kind of gestures back towards Gedin. He just wants to help. He's got an affinity for healing. He's very good with a blade. We gave him a blade half a year ago, and he's kept himself alive.
He's you know he's not.
Not allowed.
No, I don't think you know. Just watch him. Points across to Gedden. Give me a perception check.
Oh boy. Roll a nice dice, please. That is also another dirty 20. So
Okay.
I can't believe it took me this long to catch up.
You see how he's
I know.
Dead.
The amount of things Mel knows, but Ari doesn't know is
Yeah, Ruby's still oblivious, but Jeannie just caught up to the fact that the dead don't eat or drink.
You see how he's not eating or drinking. And on your 20, you notice, you didn't really think out of it now, but it's that thing. Watch how shallow his breaths are. He's hardly taking breath. He's not the only one in here like that. We've got a few. House of the Red Lady, big on it, you know that. I can only assume he's either travelled through there or met them. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's doing wonders for his longevity. He ain't ever going to die. Hey! Gives you a little nudge.
Yeah.
But that's it's probably him forever now. You didn't know, did you?
No.
You want me to keep an eye on him? Think it's too dangerous where you're going to take him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of that. He's welcome here. Especially if he can heal.
You can heal. He's good with a blade.
When you say heal, do you mean like you and me heal or like him heal? Can he heal us?
He can heal us. I've seen him do it.
That's new. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him.
He's Red Lady's got hold of him first. And some kind of weird thing he's got on. But if they get anywhere close to him, they will want to try and take him back. And I'd rather leave him with you, where I know he's well defended.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so they come here. I like it. Strategy.
No, they won't come here. They won't come here.
Why not? I hope they half of them do at least. Don't fancy Ulrich tipping up. Right, Harry, go sit down. I'm going to finish this stew. And I'll be right over and with your chinwag, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
He won't go sit down, he'll go find Stefan.
As we've got to find Stefan and Anastasia walks away with her broth and ale in hand, we're going to call a break. So, thank you for listening thus far and watching. We're going to have a quick break now and carry on our adventures in Tavern number 42 right after our little break. So stick around. We'll see you soon. There we go. And noise. Hello! There we go. That might have been too loud. Hello, Tinters. We're back. Right. First things first. Sandria has disappeared out the back of the tavern and jumped on a broom and flown away. And Jade's sorting her cats
Or
out.
possibly gone to bed, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll just go to bed. And Jade's sorting her cats out. Quite literally. So, we shall see the lovely Jade hopefully next week. Welcome to part 2 of session 32. We are in a building that is not a tavern but has been made to look like a tavern and therefore does not have a name, which threw out the entire plot arc. You are all in this building surrounded by soldiers. Ari, you just had it pointed out to you that there are several houses represented here, but all seem to have a common cause in their attire at least. You've also had it pointed out to you that there are fair folk also sharing the merriment of the building, and they are behind the barrels. So yes, 3 to 1. You, Anastasia's gone for a wander, and you've gone yeah, and then gone looking for Stefan. While you're looking for Stefan, what are you 3 doing?
I am going to go looking for Anastasia because I want to get her to have a look at Big Nasty Sword.
Cool.
Aljo!
Ruby and Sapphire, what are you doing?
Gone back to sit with Geddon, really, and just sort of chill out.
Geddon is sitting really well behaved. He hasn't caused a fuss. He's sat like posture straight. His hands are on the table. He's just kind of almost waiting. But he's sat at the table. Sapphire, what are you doing?
Sapphire is probably at this point, because he was going to be last one, he's probably finishing off bathing. So I say he can come back in at an opportune moment.
Give me a perception check for Sapphire.
Oh. I did not go down, but hey. 1. So that is a total of a 4.
Bath is wet.
Right, cool. You are, I mean, in between this lot, more hot water has been added, or a couple of those of an arcane skill have come in and warmed the water. So it's still quite hot, despite you wanting it to be a bit cooler. But it's, after your travels, it's not actually too bad. There's a lot of hot-cold treatments go on at the temple for relaxing your muscles and such after hard days of training. So despite your taste for it, it's actually good to experience it once in a while. Kess, you go find Anastasia. She is just finishing off her, so you will have found her after Ari has spoken to her.
Yeah.
She's just finishing off her bowl of stew, broth, and her second ale with it. How many she's had for the day, nobody knows.
That's between her and our ale cup.
Jesus.
Not me.
Silver.
Anastasia.
Correct.
I was wondering if you could look at this for me and kind of gesture over before, like, sort of shrugging it off
It's a
and
sword.
handing it across.
Oh, no. She takes a sword and she just wields this two-handed falchion as if it's a spoon.
Yeah.
Well, this is old.
That would make sense for who I got it off of.
Who'd you get it off? Looks like one of looks like a design similar to those, and she nods at your scimitars. It's definitely from down south. But it is definitely, I mean, the writing on it alone is, forgive my ignorance, but your people's sort of scripture.
Indeed. She went by the Desert Rose.
Desert Rose? Never heard of it.
She had been a companion of Ulrich's before he wasn't anymore.
Long dark hair, beady little eyes, good looking to some.
Blood sucking to others. Yes, the very one.
You get loads out of the House of Red into the blood. It's like a fine wine, don't you know? Talk shit if you ask me. Stick to me grape juice. You alright? You alright, Sylvie? You look nervous.
No.
You don't walk with nerves, you just sound nervous. Do you not talk a lot?
Not particularly.
Alright, fair enough.
Never really had to.
Well, let's talk now. I should just sort of...
He just goes, like, sits down, like, okay. He is aware that if Anastasia tells you to sit down, you're going to talk, you're going to sit down, you're going to talk.
And he has deep regret, I'm guessing, for initiating a conversation with somebody.
Oh, I'm sure he has many aunts or family members with a similar energy. I can't imagine that Xandria fell far from the tree.
So where are you from?
My sister and I are from Surut.
Sister? Ah, Goldie.
Yes.
So where are you from? Carry on, my bad.
No, we from Surut, from
The great sandy place.
yeah, from most of that, to be honest, our tribe is nomadic.
Oh, you
so
potter around?
we protect our summer's version of the Copper Forest.
Oh, you got fair down there as well?
There's Fae everywhere. There's more than one season.
Well, yeah, but, you know. I never thought of it like that. Alright. I'll take your word on it, Silver. Sword's magical, by the way. And she puts it back on the table in front of you. Pretty magical.
Thank you.
What? We have to
He'll
vote?
kind of like replace it back in. He wasn't sure what he was looking to learn. He was just like, I should probably make sure this isn't cursed before I use it.
Did you say that?
No.
Okay.
He's not that smart.
I mean, do you know what it does?
I've no idea. I figured if it was going to cause great damage to the user, then you would, or I would hope you would let me know.
Give it here. You walk like you know what you're doing.
Tips it back across like, oh.
Right, stay there. It's going to take me 10 minutes. And she puts the falchion on the table. She just reaches into her pocket. Again, she's not changed all day. She's still in her like sleeveless shirt with her trousers just loose enough to keep her temperature down, which you're used to being from the desert folk.
Yeah, I'll grab another ale for you then while you're back in a second.
No, sit.
I will sit.
You're going to learn something. You're going to learn something.
Will indeed.
And she starts putting out almost like Monopoly pieces. A small horseshoe, a small metalworked animal, looks like a dog or a wolf. And she does a few more. There's a couple of the like hound miniatures and a couple of horseshoe miniatures. And she puts them around the sword. She looks at you as if waiting for a reaction, and then carries on.
He just watches.
Cool.
Yeah.
She will then go through the ritualistic process of casting a spell known as Identify. Harry, give me an investigation check as you look for your brother.
Just as I'm drinking.
That's what he does. Just be glad that you're not dead.
That is a 12.
12. How are you determining looking for your brother?
Good question, because he's not seen him in a long time. He'll look for someone that's got the
Perhaps.
family resemblance.
Perhaps somebody who said, "Oh fuck," and
I
ran
know,
back out
right?
the room.
I know, right? Harry doesn't know that because he's stupid.
The thing is, he's not though, but he is.
I'm allowed to say that because he's my character.
As it's your brother, you would roll with advantage. You do know this.
Oh yes.
You do know him well enough.
My brother. Oh no, I won't because that's bloody the better roll anyway.
Oh god. So what'd you get? 12?
I got like a 10 that time. So
Jesus.
like, jeez. Yeah, I got a
May
12
I
altogether.
suggest you resort to just roaming around going, Stefan?
No.
There
I think
is-
I might-
We are up to 3
I was gonna
rerolls.
say we have got 3 rerolls. I might actually use one.
3 rolls and it's most.
It's at advantage, so roll 2.
Oh, I got that 20. It's a 21.
You feel a tap on your shoulder. Entire family tree behind you.
Woo! Oh no.
Just quickly scanning the place towards the area that Anastasia nodded. You do see sat at a corner table. It's an awkward corner because the tables are all round and they've kind of made them into that. Like, we'll just get as many as we can in here. There is a group of. They're wearing the tightly fitted and using like golden ribbon to tie the loose sleeve. You can imagine if they didn't have these wrappings on their forearms, around their waists, shoulders, and such, that these robes would be like an oversized nightgown. But they use these golden ribbons to wrap them close. They are the battle robes of the House of the Rajtor, the wizarding house that sits upon the wall with the rest of the houses. Sat towards the back, so you'd have to kind of shove through a few, is Stefan Arnold Rycroft. 5'10", slightly rounded shoulders, short dark hair, the same style as he had as a nipper, and very curious dark eyes that dart around a lot. The younger brother to Aristotle. Sat next to him, very, very close and intimately, is the young chap that you saw with the short hair and the drinks that mouth the words, "Oh fuck." You've seen him, he hasn't seen you on his 3.
Oh dear. Harry, are you gonna run or you're not gonna run? That's the question.
Time to roleplay!
He'll kind of.
I will say he also might sound like he's from Yorkshire, just putting it out there.
I mean, Northerners, you know, wheels on the same, don't they?
Potato, tomato.
He'll kind of knock back the rest of his ale, try and like steal himself towards it, and just be like, kind of walk up towards the table, and just try and catch Stefan's eye and be like, "Can I have a word?"
As you're approaching, the young bloke sat next to your brother is nudging, and you can see your brother like, what? And they point. And Stefan looks up as you say, "Can I have a word?" No smile at first, and then a eruption of emotion across his face as he just pushes through anyone in front of him, fireballing his way towards you, and just dives into an embrace with you. Starts crying his eyes out. You've broken him. He fails 2 death saving throws. He's absolutely blown away.
Ari was going to try and take him outside and have a word, but apparently not, so you know.
And he's like, "Harry," and he steps back and he's touching your face and he's like trying to straighten your clothes and stuff. You're alive. I mean, I should have known you're the eagle, and then you come around, and then the white lion. I mean, we didn't all think he was a white lion, but he's an actual white lion. I mean, you're here, and he's still touching your face and stuff, and he sort of gently touches the rapier, and he's like, "That's a little bit different. It's got some weird gemstones in it, but I mean, it still looks. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, you're here, Harry. Darius, come here, Darius, come here." And the younger bloke behind's like, "For fuck's sake," comes forward and just stands quite shyly, like just
like,
behind,
meeting
just
the
behind,
in-laws for the first time. Like,
just behind Stefan. And as Stefan's quite clearly taken away by the moment, Darius puts his hand out. Pleased to meet you, Aristotle. And just holds his hand there.
And I nod and shake his hand.
There is a tight grip to Darius. Lucky Stefan. When he shakes your hand. And it's one of letting you know they're there. And they again step slightly back to let Stefan have his moment with his brother. I mean, where have you been? The elves. The elves. They're pretty cool. I mean, she's really pretty and filthy. Like, I don't know why she's with you. I know why she's with you because I mean, it's you, Harry. I mean, you're surrounded by pretty people all the time. You got the pretty swords. I mean, the pretty clothes. I mean, I didn't even know you come in. I didn't even know you were here.
No, you were here until Anastasia said otherwise.
Oh, Anastasia, I mean, she's a big bitch. I mean, she killed a few folk with her bare hands, didn't need the weapons. I mean, I'm throwing fireballs around there. She just comes out and starts smashing them in. Oh, it's so good to see you. I can't believe it. Here, you lot, move. As he starts gesturing to, and some of the older folk at the table are very not amused with Stefan's dismissing of them. Come on, sit.
He will sit.
Oh, I can't believe you're here, Harry. Just touching your face every 5 seconds.
I mean, we'll have definitely returned the hug to him and definitely like be kind of like patting him on the shoulder, like no, like I'm here, you know, it's fine, and be quite emotional himself, but like trying to hold it back.
Got a reputation of that.
How much Mel is there and how much Harry is there? We don't really know quite now. Has Harry cried as much as Mel has? That's the question.
That's my 20 levels.
And he'll kind of just nod towards him and just be like, you don't know how good it is to see you doing that.
I do. I'm not the only one with the looks. But you're not the only one with the looks? I'm not the only one with the looks. You're here, Harry. Don't worry about it. You're alive. Now we can soar together. I mean, the Eagle Brothers. I mean, how cool is that? We can take down this... And he restrains himself from cursing. We can take down this Ulrich. Oh, no. I mean, tell me you know about Grandfather. It was a good send-off. I wish I
could have been here, but unfortunately I was busy.
What were you doing? Where have you been? It's been years. Grandfather said you would start slapping it about. I don't know what that means. Darius is next to Figgy, just like head in hand, like. It means he's been enjoying the boudoir. Nah, what? Yeah, well, that makes sense, Harry. Makes sense.
Brother suddenly realising.
Sorry, Darius, come here. And pulls. Darius is kind of just stood. Sit. I know you've already met Harry and Darius. I mean, we only stood over there when you met like 2 seconds ago. But this is Darius. This is my fiance. We're getting married soon, hopefully, if we don't all die.
So I hear. Congratulations, we're in order.
Thank you. Have you got us a present?
Just arrived, Stefan. Give it a break.
I thought you were better at this. Oh man, you're an eagle. You're flying high. You got white lions, elven, bloody princes and princesses and lance lords. I guess that last one.
Been busy.
Guess that last one.
That plot might not have hit the world yet.
Cancel that. Not that one.
He's a seer, Harry.
He's a diviner.
He'll just kind of like look towards him and just be like, so obviously not been here for a long time, to put it mildly. I hear you've done well for yourself with the
Oh, Darius is alright.
team.
Darius is clearly a more sombre of the two.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like Stefan needs a grounding presence in his life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the house, the Rajtor, they've been great. I mean, they've taught me loads of cool stuff. Wow! And he just summons fire in his hand.
Put it away.
That's what they used to say. You, Harry? And then he makes the magic go away. I mean, sure, how are you not married yet? You can't still be all the time.
I haven't settled down yet.
I mean, I was good looking, but eventually, mind you, Grandad was still good looking.
How's it been here?
Here, absolutely shit. And then there is a clearly look of shock in Darius's eyes, and Stefan tries to catch himself. I mean, it's been terrible, Harry. It's been really, really terrible. I mean, I do apologize. I'm just really happy to see you, but honestly, when you weren't here, I was overwhelmed with emotion of how bad it's been here. Honestly. To be fair, it's just rubbish. I mean, you've got Ulrich, he's attacking from the north. The House of the Forged, they've been done over so many times. So many times. The House of the Falcons, they've been helping them out. It's so bad in the west. They got the worst of it. Over here, we kind of we're just helping Anastasia and just Stefan's just pointing into the ground. We're helping Anastasia take the town. If anyone comes in here, they get a choice: join us or die. I mean, Anastasia, like she's really diplomatic when it comes to that sort of stuff, and lots of people listen to it. I mean, you can see all around here. We've got the House of the Lilies and the House of the Red Lady. There's a couple of forges over there. The Dwarves of the Azurite, they're down here as well. I mean, and Darius is like, Stefan, breathe. We have time. Okay, yeah. Sorry, and just grabs Darius's hand, kisses it, and then goes back to you. The wall is, I mean, Elva, and starts elbowing you. She said she'd seen you. I mean, if I wasn't me, I would. Do you know what I mean? Darius just slaps him on the shoulder. I mean, I'm just saying. She's, you know, I mean, she's got a scar now, but you know, Harry, you like scars. She's lost some of her hair as well, but she's still pretty on the good side when she turns. And she is possessed. You want to see her on that wall with her sword. Oh, it's poetic. Tell you, grandfather would be proud. He'd be really proud. He chose right. I mean, I know it should have been you, but then you left. I mean, people said you ran away, but I know you just left. You know, you're just going on sabbatical, taking like a year out or so, 10. But yeah, Elva is definitely a good second. I mean, you should marry Elva.
That died a long time ago.
I'm just saying, you know, a bit of poetry. That's how Darius won me over. Darius is behind him like, it's not.
It'll kind of just...
Wait, I'm used to more. I'm used to more from you, Harry. What's up with you? Come on, let's say, like, why are you so down?
There's been a lot that's happened, and I think the stories you've been hearing are just stories.
All right.
The reality of it is different.
Did you or did you not go to a land where people die and come back?
Yes.
Oh, that's one story. That's pretty cool. I've never done that. Did you or did you not walk with the fairies under copper?
Yes.
That's a pretty badass story. I mean, there's some fairies over there right now laughing at their little wings off at us. And he shows the barrels the finger. Did you or did you not stand before Ulrich?
Yes.
There's another story. I mean, I'm seeing a pattern here, brother. Yeah, stories are stories, but they've got to come from somewhere.
But I've obviously not been here for a long time. we grew up together. Like, I'm just me. I'm just trying to get through as best I can, and it just is crazy.
You don't need to get through it the best you can, Harry. You are the best you can. You're the eagle. You were born to be the first eagle, if not the eagle someday. Yeah, you turned it down for Elva. That's quite romantic when you look at it. Darius again, and he's like, it's not.
I knew I needed to come home and check what was real and what was just stories. And I'm gonna head home.
You're going to the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a lunatic. There's demons all over it.
So I need to go now.
Well, I can't say Elva's not going to distract you. I mean, she's been squatting. All that armour. Darius again slaps him on the shoulder.
That was a long time ago. It's been many years. And I just want to check in and make sure everybody that I care about is doing okay, and see if we can get any aid for helping to fight Ulrich.
Oh, you're taking the fight to Ulrich?
Of course we are.
Not bad for someone just trying to get by, eh? That's quite a story that hasn't been told yet. And even Darius at that point goes, it will be quite a tale, Aristotle.
I look towards him and be like, well, somebody told me quite recently that tales need to be told. So I guess that would be something that.
Are you taking your friends with you? That's cool. That's really cool. I mean, with the silver eyes and the green hair, and the angry looking one. I mean, she's pretty hot, but you know, with that intense hotness, like, you know, if I was you.
I just kind of smile at him.
Hey, you stay in the evening? You obviously stay in the evening. I mean, I know you've had a bath and that, but you see in your eyes how you look like you could do with a rest. And again, sticks the finger up at the fairies behind the barrels. They're really annoying me.
Just leave them be. They'll be fine. Like,
Ah,
I'm staying.
They're fine, but they can't hold their ale. But I mean, I'm not letting you out of my sight for the rest of the evening. I don't care where you're sleeping. I'm sleeping next to you. I'm going to stare at you all night. All night, brother.
He'll just kind of stare back at Stefan. No, you won't.
Darius is like, no, you won't.
He'll kind of like nod towards Darius. Yeah, that's about right. And then he'll kind of like be like, I am gonna go back over there now. I'm only across the way. You know.
Stefan gets up to follow, and Darius puts an arm. There's plenty of time.
So yeah, he will return to the party.
Cool. You return to the party. Guess.
Hold on.
Oh,
By
go on.
return to the party, do you go to the bath? Do you go to the table where Ruby is sat with Geddon? Do you go to bed with Sandria? Or do you go and
Fight
in
Ulrich.
as Hess gets the lance checked?
No, he will go and get some more ales, and then kind of head back towards the table, I guess.
So you're going to sit with Ruby and Geddon?
Yeah.
Guess Phil.
Yep.
10 minutes has passed. I'll tell you what.
I think while this has all been going on, he will have been like watching intently.
It gets roasting in her vicinity, as in you are in the presence of a forge. and the heat is incredibly intense. It reminds you of the desert sun. This is all throughout at least 9 minutes of this ritual. At the end of it, as she moves her hands over the small metallic miniatures, they disappear each time her hand goes over them till none are left on the table. She looks at you. Sha'al Katrub. Apparently, some sort of djinn this blade used to belong to. You can change it. I mean, you can keep it this size. You can make it the same size as those mundane specimens on your hip, no offence. Then you can, if you really want to, you can change it into what's called a kunai, which I believe is a small dagger of sorts. If you keep it in this form, and this is in the two-handed falchion form, you have a better chance of hitting them. I mean, it's really well crafted, but it'll do a ton more damage than what you're used to. If you change it into that form, and she points at your scimitars, there's an element of speed to it. It'll increase your agility enough that if you were to take initiative, you'd probably do it quicker than others. And if you change it into the kunai, you could probably do similar to what Harry does when he gets that sneaky attacking with his dagger. But you'd only be able to do that once a long rest, and then the magic will fade till the morning after. So for looks, a benefit. Two-handed falchion will give you +1 to hit, +2 to damage.
Yep.
Scimitar form will give you +2 to initiative. Kunai form will allow you to perform 1 sneak attack per long rest, as per the sneak attack rules. You must be attuned to it, obviously.
Yeah.
And you can only change it after a long rest. So whatever it is for the day, that's what it will be for the day.
That's what it is for the day. Cool.
Now I can send you that over for thingy.
Thank you. He will take it back if it seems like she's done with it.
Yeah, she hands it back.
And thank you. I wouldn't have known how to go about finding out that information myself without your expertise.
What?
I don't know how to do the thing you just did. Thank you for helping.
There you go. Less time between your words, Silver. You're doing better. Speak as you fight, with fluidity and a dance to it. You clearly walk like one with the grace of cats. I mean, the only person I've seen walk with an ass like that is probably Harry.
You just kind of will just like double blink. Okay. I should probably return to my group. Thank you for your...
Say hello to the white line for me.
And you will... I don't want to say scurry, but scurry back. He's like...
You just see Anastasia
Yes.
leading off the table like, yep, definitely Harry. And then sit back.
God. She's incorrigible.
If I had an HR department, you are more than welcome to
If Sapphire is there
Sapphire's
when he
still
returns...
in the bath, so you get to the table and there is Harry and Ruby and Gavin.
So as Ari came back to the table, Ruby would have... Who's that then?
That is the Swordmaster. That is I'll reword that. That is the blacksmith that has been...
No, not... Who were you talking to? How much of that have you had?
That was my brother.
Well, that's nice.
Oh my spirit.
Is it not? Not pleased to see him? Is it one of them?
No. Like, I just haven't seen him in a long time. And I care about him, so it's good to know that he's doing good for himself, and apparently he's engaged.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So that's the thing. I'll just sit down and just take another drink. And kind of look across at Geddin. Had a word with Anastasia.
Okay.
Don't know. She said she could do with somebody that can heal like you can and use a blade like you can. Don't know if you'd want to stay with these guys and learn from them.
I could do, yeah. I mean, I'll help where I can.
I trust her a lot. And you'll get into danger. Don't get me wrong, because they're not going to exactly go places when they're not needed. But they take everybody in, no matter what.
Okay.
You know, kind of like, because obviously they've necessarily shared with everybody exactly all the stuff. But he'll just kind of nod and just kind of keep drinking. Because boy howdy was that a lot of chat.
Well, maybe when Cass has finished speaking with her about his new toy, then we can go over and introduce you again.
Thank you. Sapphire. In the bath.
Take this moment to come out, unless you've got plans.
I did have plans, but if you're planning something...
Go for it, no, go for it.
It's Anastasia, you're staying in the tub.
Not the face. Yeah, so while you're in said tub, and you're relaxing, and, you know, you're used to being able to uncanny, like, get into a relaxed state due to your training and such, and you can kind of detach and rest. You start to sink beneath the water. I mean, the tub was big enough for two average-sized humans, and you are a 6'6" lion. So you take a good 2/3 of the tub to yourself. I think it's still spacious enough. You sort of sink under the water just to let all of you get covered and take that moment of serenity beneath the surface. And then the entire water flash freezes, and you are full on frozen under the water, like in stasis. You try to move and break free. Give me a strength check.
Yeah, you have plans.
Shouldn't have said you like cold water.
Yeah, for real. That's a 9.
A 9.
No.
Would you like to use a
Oh, do we have?
reroll?
We have
two. We have two.
Yeah. Okay, I'll use a real one. I'll use a different dice. Oh, that's better. That's a 19.
Oh, cool. If you'd have said 10. That's better, 10. So as the tub, just the water within it flash freezes instantly, and you just sort of, in that brief panic, just sort of lash out and almost Hulk smash the ice off you. You come up for air straight away. It was only a brief second that it was less that you were running out of air and more your breath was taken from you instantly. But you smash the ice off you, and as you come out of the water a lot faster than you expected, and you just spring out the water and sprawl across the floor as you are assailed by what is leaves, and they are just flying in at you left, right and centre. You're sort of just trying to bat them away. Give me a dexterity save. 12?
Shit.
Dex just my ass. You
Best monk.
As you're trying to bat away this assailing of these leaves, they sweep under you and take your feet from you, and you find yourself prone on the floor. the leaves then just vanish, and you're sort of like heavy breathing. Everything's happened in a few heartbeats. You've had the flash freeze. You've had these leaves batting around you, and then it gets hot as shit, like a beating summer sun down on your very soul. You can feel the heat, and it's. You give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
God damn it.
We're just going through all of them.
Oh, for fud's
It's a
sake!
2.
You got last reroll if you want it.
Yeah.
We are close to the end. Okay.
Jesus.
Okay, that's a 16.
Cool. You only take 1 level of exhaustion, as the heat is incredibly lethargic on you. And as you sort of just like sit, and you're already prone, you sort of sit up on your back against the wall, against whatever is going on around you. You see a short. At first, you think he's almost just a short human, because he doesn't carry the girth of a lot of the dwarfs that you've met so far. But you actually do notice that he's a very lean dwarf. His hands are held in front of him like this, so his 2 fingers are bent in a style you've only seen once or twice around the temples, but never looked into. He's in green robes with ropes around his waist, and hanging from his belt are 3 circular discs with square holes in the middle. His beard comes down from the lower cheek and jaw and out, and it's black at the sides here and grey down the middle to just below his chest. And he's got an half-assed little grey tash going on. His head's shaved bar a top knot out the top, and black hair goes out the back. On his arms are wrapped white wraps with black wrappings, and the same circular discs on the forearms, but with the square in front of him. And you see on his bare chest, where just like a cloak sort of tied across, you see 4 symbols that you instantly recognise as the glyphs that you were taught when you took your Way of the Season cycle monk. And then the penny drops. You've been assailed by winter, autumn and summer in a single swift motion. And this dwarf just looks at you, sort of relaxes for a moment. You see there was an intense focus in their eyes, and it's almost like they've just clicked who you are, or what you are, or some things of recognition. They've kind of snapped them out of that intense focus, and they drop to their ass, cross their legs, and rest with their hands on their lap in front of you. And he just closes his eyes, he breathes deep. Sorry. And he opens his eyes again.
There is a quick moment where Sapphire
Rips
forces
his head
himself
off.
to his feet.
Yep.
And there is this whole, like, for a moment, there's this, he growls, not loud, but like a low in the back of his throat. And his muscles bulge slightly, and then he kind of, tell me why you're here, very quickly.
As Sapphire growls, the dwarf puts his forehead on the floor, like completely submissively, and then comes back up at your question. You look so much like her.
He kind of relaxes his stance a little bit. Like who? What are you talking about?
The taker of souls. She travelled far from the north. I have been hunting her. Now I see you. The difference is greater. My decision was wrong. I accept punishment. And again he puts his forehead on the... his language is not fluid in common at all.
Sapphire kind of grabs the trousers that he was preparing to wear from afterwards. Has a
I
quick
do like
look
the
at them.
idea that you have just been like all your big like tundra snowy line. You're just like
Look at that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, shit, like,
yeah, waterlogged cat, and he picks up these trousers and rips a quick hole in the back.
Alright, that's...
Puts them on so his tail can fit through. And he's like, "Sorry, I'm not going to talk to you." He like ties the front. I'm not going to talk to you while I'm naked.
You
Okay,
are
you're-
wise.
You are. You're from You're from Bay.
No, the north.
Oh, you're from. Oh, that. Oh, why are you hunting her? What is going on?
She has taken too many souls.
Who are you?
I am Blazing Sun.
Ah. Okay. Well, I am Sapphire Waters. I believe you are hunting my sister, not me.
There's no real reaction to the sister. My mistake.
When you say she's taken too many souls, what is she doing?
Reaping.
For what purpose?
I know not. I merely follow the orders of my lady.
Okay. Well, get up off the floor first,
He stands.
because this is clearly going to be a conversation, and I don't want you bowing at that. I'm not gonna hurt you. I just need to get my bearings a little bit.
Whereas a lot of the people in the temple, when they're in neutral, they stand with their hands behind them. He's got his hands in front of him in acknowledgement that he's at your will, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely a dwarf. So you're 6'6" self.
And he'll like dry off a bit, turn into a bit of a fuzzball, and
Got to rebraid all these.
he'll leave his mane. Yeah, so his mane's going to be fluffy, but like he'll brush it back a bit, tie one big ponytail at the top, a top knot.
Nice.
And as he's like throwing on his shirt, his tail picks up his Meganata and puts it on his back. Right, come with me. You're gonna have to pay for their tub. He starts leading him out into the main thing.
He will follow.
Sapphire will walk back out into the thing. He's gonna be like, he'll lift his tail up and kind of wrap it around one of the guy's wrists, just so while he's not seeing him, he hasn't let go of him. And he'll walk him to the table with the others.
He follows, absolutely subservient.
He'll grab a chair from one of the nearby tables and bring it over to that one. Sit. Don't move.
He nods and sits.
I'll sit down beside him.
You lot get quite a bit of intensity from Sapphire that you've not ever seen before. Even in battle, he's usually quite.
Yeah, this is like Ruby's eyebrows are just like trying to crawl over her hairline.
And at one point, they meet an actual caterpillar. High five in the eyebrows.
Well, I was almost assassinated in the bath. That was fun.
My mistake.
Yeah, say so.
Seems like quite a rude mistake.
Yeah, I thought it best, just in case, to have any further conversations in public.
He is not the taker of souls.
I am not the taker of souls. No, that is not me.
Not your sister's soul.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, my sister has apparently been going through a bit of a collecting phase, and Sapphire will tell the others the vision he saw in the realm of souls, with her leading the hundreds of souls across the tundras and stuff. I didn't really know what that meant at the time.
She is harvesting.
souls have got to go somewhere, though, haven't they? I mean, people die. I mean,
Not really for my sister. People die and she keeps. She earned the name Soul Taker for a reason.
Her chains are strong.
So that's like a literal thing. I presumed she was just. It was a fanciful. She's a warrior kind of thing. But no, she actually takes and keeps the souls of those that she kills, finds.
Yeah.
All
I mean-
of the above.
Essentially.
Okay.
Look at Sean like, read.
I so
I can see your eyes like.
So,
we need auto cues. That's what we
I was
need.
gonna say, I'm going to give you a bit more time here. So, why was he in the bathroom?
I was
Why
trying to
would-
kill him.
We got that bit.
Then why are you asking?
Because this is, I was assured, a safe space.
You are safe. As is he. It was my mistake.
Yeah, but if we were friends with his sister, she wouldn't have been. And
Correct.
that promise of a safe space would have been broken, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, but now you are making up a scenario.
I'm gonna go get more ales. Who needs more ales?
Please,
So
love.
many.
Not,
Yeah,
not
this
for
seems-
me.
Are you sure? Water?
I am fine.
Okay.
Don't look after the assassin.
And like we'll share kind of like almost a look with Ruby when he's like, I am fine. And we're like,
Sure you
I'm
don't
just-
want to take anything off the Fae offering you a drink? Oh shit, I've just offered to take something off the Fae who's offered me a drink. Eyes on you, Cass.
not that kind of fate, you know.
So are you
He's
off
just
to
been like,
grab
I'm
ale?
gonna let I have had enough awkward social interaction today. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go and serve.
So you go over to the tap
Yeah.
barrels and start getting ales, yeah?
Yeah.
Geddon won't take his eyes off the dwarf, just for those still at the table. He's intensely staring at this dwarf.
Can we get your friend over here then, Harry? It's her place. If she doesn't know there was an assassin in her bathroom, she should probably know about it.
Good.
I mean, I agree with that. Though maybe we should talk to him first. I don't know what she's going to do to him.
I don't fancy your chances, mate. I'll be honest.
At what?
You've come
Vibe
into
in
her
it.
safe
And he'll
space.
pop the drinks down.
Come into her safe space with her guys that are loyal to her. And tried to kill somebody that she's promised safety to.
My mistake.
And just kind of stare at him, but let Sapphire deal with it because it's Sapphire's issue, and then it's up to Sapphire as to what he wants to do. But he's gonna try and be intimidating, which will be fun.
Roll an intimidation check.
But he's not gonna mess with that. Oh, but we rolled an 18 though, so got +3 apparently, so 21.
Using my mountain dice. Noted. What do you do, Sapphire?
So who exactly sent you after my sister?
The and he's taking this amount of time. The nighttime elf with the blue skin.
Does that mean anything to me?
To you, no. Do you remember? Does Sapphire remember seeing a nighttime blue-skinned elf? Don't look at them. I'm asking you. Then no. Sapphire is
Nope.
oblivious.
Sapphire will look around the table. Mean something to any of you?
Ruby's like, common not your best language then? To the dwarf.
No.
What else do you speak?
Dwarven.
Anybody got any
Elven.
Dwarven? Oh, I can do Elven.
Small amounts of halfling.
Surely I'm not the only person other sat at this table who speaks Elven. Maybe we should try
no,
Elven.
Yeah, the
Elves.
yeah,
Nodding.
pretty
Ken's
fluent.
Like, I speak
Also
Elven.
nodding.
And he's like, does anyone else speak Elven?
As far as
also
I know,
speak
you're
Elven.
not Elven.
I mean,
You're
you're
fake.
not wrong, but
Yeah, Elven was the language I learned in the.
it comes with the antenna ears.
Wow.
So we all speak Elven. Let's move to that then if he's more comfortable with it. He'll say in Elven.
This will also sound like Yorkshire Elven, just so you know.
It's fine.
Okay, so you're all going to speak Elven unless you tell me otherwise,
Yep.
yeah?
So what do you mean by nighttime elf with blue skin?
The dark elves that live beneath the ground.
Okay, I thought so.
Rather let you speak.
You wait 15 minutes.
His name ain't Gabriel.
I know not his name.
What will he look like?
Nightshade skin. Dark hair for the most part. But I feel he changed it when he felt the need. His partner, I will never forget. A stunning physical embodiment of summer. An elf, but not of the night. She was surrounded in an aura of summer. I know this for my learnings are based in the seasons. She was truly summer's wrath incarnate. Neither of them are happy with the Taker of Souls. My mistake. He nods again at Sapphire. They hired me to remove her from this world.
Really? She's gone that far?
She is known to some of her tribe now as the Reaper, or the Harvester. She took souls in-house. The northern tribes recommended me to the Nightshade Elf and the Summer Elf.
Long ago was it that you came in to this job, to them, to hunt down Soul Taker?
It's what I do.
But when were you hired for this specific job?
Maybe 2 moons ago.
And what led you here? Have you been following her, or information, or...?
She crossed the border into Ravenholm. She took a
When?
ship from Viconia. I
Okay,
follow
do
the
you
ship.
have any idea why? Why has she come here?
I believe she's running.
I don't. I mean, she was well respected in the tribe. She likes the tribe. I don't get why she would go to these extremes. I've been away far too long.
As Ari said, it's up to you, Sapphire, what you want to do with regards to this. It's your hearth, so to speak, that's involved.
Perhaps finding her would be offer better answers to why than this chap can give.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is, what do we do now with him? I bear you no ill will, but I bear my sister a great deal of love.
You cannot stop me from leaving.
Gedden, be a dear and go and find Miss Anastasia.
Okay. And he gets off. And he goes looking for Anastasia. Unless you do anything else. A moment or two passes. Gedden, in a very surreal scene, is leading Anastasia by the finger towards the table. It's probably the most childlike Gedden's looked in a long time. And probably the most parental Anastasia has ever looked in her life. She comes.
Kind of look towards Sapphire for a lead on this. It's up to Sapphire.
Sits at the table. What's up? Says Anastasia.
Are you familiar with this dwarven gentleman?
Nope.
Tried to kill me in your bathtub.
You little bastard. Well, he failed then. Oh, what are you trying to kill him for? My mistake. I don't... What?
He was trying to kill someone that looks like me. I was just unlucky.
I'm just... What? Do you want me to kill him? You cannot. Beg to differ.
We've reached a point, miss, where we think it's your house, your rules.
Well, I'm with Sapphire on this. Someone try to kill me, I'd rip their head off. But it's up to you.
I am going to lash out at him with a flurry of blows.
Roll initiative. He is not surprised one of you's tried to attack him.
That is absolutely fair. I'm just going to try. I'm going to try and stone strike him essentially.
I only need it off you, Sapphire, because the actions that are happening.
30,
And I will
17.
need a roll off you in a second, Harry. 17.
17.
Cool. You do get to go first. So as you lash out, you see him react. But instead of him reacting in a martial way, he reacts in an arcane way. So your attack is your turn. You've got a turn. It is in your
Okay,
turn.
so I'm going to go with a full flurry of blows.
90 feet movement.
All of the movement ever. Yeah, so I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to do all of it with just my hands, because I'm essentially trying to hit him so I can land a stunning strike.
Okay.
So yeah, that's 1, 2. Oh, those aren't going to hit.
16 plus 7. So that's a 50. Actually, no, that one might hit. That one is going to hit probably 22 and a 23, and then the other one was a like 5.
So 3 attacks, 22, 23, and a 5.
Yeah.
The 23 hits. But the reason the 23 hits and the 22 doesn't is you've seen put an arcane shield up as a reaction in front of him.
Oh, okay.
The 22 just misses.
Okay, so he has to do a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
I'm just double checking what my.
Oh, 22, mate.
Oh yeah, that's going to be.
Sorry, mate. I rolled a 17.
No, that's totally fine. So yeah, he'll just basically kind of lash out. He'll obviously hit the shield with one of them, but he'll try and get a thing in. See a ripple of Kai come out of him. Ripple of Ki come out of him, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
You lot see Sapphire instantaneously, wham, just start pummeling into this dwarf. The dwarf reels back, throws up an arcane shield. You see sparks of arcane from the just sheer force of Sapphire's punches coming through. One does push past and through this arcane like Sapphire's punch through water and actually hits the dwarf. And for a split second, you see that like almost a time ripple around the dwarf as Sapphire's key strikes true, but the dwarf shakes it off. The dwarf then casts Dimension Door. And Stefan reacts with a counterspell. But I need you to roll for Stefan, Harry, because the dwarf's cast it quite high.
I rolled a 9.
And you have no rerolls left.
Smell.
What?
So,
This is me. I'm rolling.
as Stefan steps up, seeing quick as little brother can be, seeing this interaction happen, the Dimension Door gets cast. Stefan steps up, waves his hand in the air to try and counter the Dimensional Door, but is unfortunately, and the dwarf disappears. And we're going to leave the session there.
Bum bum bum.
Oh, Harry, what are you doing? You could have had him.
Outcast.
So,
And that's why Mel is not allowed to touch any of the dice.
I did find it quite funny, knowing this was coming, that you were all blasting through your rerolls on the bath and stuff, and just random talking. I was like, okay, this is going my way. It's going my way. Oh, the stunning strike, mate! I rolled a natural 17. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Oh. Yeah. I just wanted him to stay still long enough. That's legit.
Well, that was
I was
good.
looking through because I was going, oh no, I'm thinking about the character. It's got a whole person. I'm like, nope.
Now it's another
one
plot
Batman.
thread to chase.
Need them hooks, kids. Need them hooks. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this evening. It was pretty cool to spend time in a tavern, not tavern. It was nice to have a chill, not rushing across the entirety of Ravenholm through a forest full of Fae and Death Knights and all sorts. Excuse me. So thank you for tuning in. Please stick around while we raid Ashana, assuming she's still on. I'm going to double check
I
now.
believe she is.
Good. Yeah, she is. There you go. Let me just... Oh, what's that doing? Alright, my finger's gone weird. Okay, so yeah, cheers very much. See you next week. Take care of yourselves. It's been truly amazing all of last year and the start of this year, and I can't wait to see where we all go. Check out all our links that get put in the chat. Check out all our sponsors, they're amazing. Follow us on the old YouTube and such so you can catch up, or you can just come and watch it at the VOD here. All being well, Heavyweight Gaming will be at the UK Games Expo this year, and I'm going to say that every fucking week until we're actually there. So take care of yourselves and stick around for this raid, please, on the wonderful Ashana, as she is amazing. So yes, right, take care of yourselves, and for now, say bye-bye, players.
Bye,
Bye,
players.
Bye, players.